Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. In the outer city district of Yulon City, within an ordinary cave mansion. Not good, one of my subworms has been discovered. A cultivator within the cave mansion sensed something, slightly puzzled. How did this subworm avatar of mine get exposed? The enchanting heartworm clan possesses strong disguising capabilities, infiltrating the soul of cultivators. Many of the defense systems in Yulon City are unable to detect them. Generally, the exposure of one avatar does not affect the others. It seems I need to be more cautious. The cultivator thought, remaining inside the cave mansion. In just a moment. Boom. A streak of blood light instantly penetrated the formation of this ordinary cave mansion in the outer city district, also sweeping past the cultivator. Huh! The cultivator's eyes widened, still in disbelief. The blood light condensed into the figure of Luo Feng, holding a subworm of the enchanting heartworm in his hand. These enchanting heartworms are crafty. Usually, only subworms enter the city, while the mother worm might be hiding outside the city. Luo Feng frowned, aware that the infiltrating enchanting heartworm clan and soul-devouring snake clan are indeed the most dreaded by cultivators. As for the Void Wanderer clan, their appearances in the entire Nine Rivers sacred realm are extremely rare, and their threat can be ignored. Boom. 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 One after another, Luo Feng's avatars, using the biomimetic destruction, to follow the causality line, hunted down each enchanting heartworm avatar. Not good. The cultivator can track my numerous avatars. With successive avatars being captured, the other avatars panicked as well. An enchanting heartworm can only produce 19 subworms, so losing just one is a significant loss. Quickly, out of the city. In a gathering of cultivators, two exchanged glances and resolutely stood up to leave. Shiku brother, why are you two leaving so soon? Other cultivators at the gathering asked. Urgent matters. The two cultivators answered perfunctorily, preparing to leave. Suddenly, a streak of blood light pierced through the formation in a flash, sweeping past the two departing cultivators, who fell powerless. The blood light condensed beside them into the figure of Luo Feng. Two more subworms. Luo Feng looked at the two enchanting heartworm subworms in his hand and instantly crushed them. The gathered cultivators also saw the enchanting heartworm subworms and recognized Luo Feng. Shiku brother and the other were actually controlled by the enchanting heartworm. The enchanting heartworm must be targeting us, planning to control us. The group of cultivators shuddered with fear. Thank you, Senior Luo Feng. The present cultivators, primarily at the level of Divine Emperor early stage enlightened, were aware of Luo Feng's intelligence, knowing this powerfully subdued Elder Qian He, ignoring the might of the insect nest completely. Senior Luo Feng, I am Nan Feng Yu. A woman hurriedly spoke, thank you, Senior Luo Feng, for saving our lives. Luo Feng glanced at the woman, a formal member responsible for sales at the Dan Tower. They had met several times. Luo Feng nodded slightly. Nan Feng Yu was quite excited. Swish. Luo Feng transformed into blood light and vanished. Enchanting heartworms infiltrating Yulon City are extremely difficult to trace. Yet Senior Luo Feng can hunt them down. The cultivators present were shocked, as their weaker perception failed to detect any trace of the enchanting heartworm when face to face. Confronting the enchanting heartworm, they could only endure the innate secret technique enchanting heart. This is one reason cultivators highly value spiritual will. The stronger the spiritual will, the greater the hope to resist enchanting heart. Within an ordinary cave mansion in the outer city district. A slender cultivator sat cross-legged. What is going on? The slender cultivator mentally linked with companions, our enchanting heartworm clan, with its 35 branches in the 9 Rivers sacred realm, assembled in Yulon City this time. This action must not fail. How did ordinary members of the enchanting heartworm clan launch attacks suddenly? From which branch is the attacking member? It's from my branch. A voice responded, according to the king's instructions, those below the leader must be kept secret. I brought my clan to Yulon City, only restraining the core forces under my command. As for the middle and lower level clans, I merely advised caution, without many orders. Ju. As we approach the crucial moment, we must all remain hidden, not act further. Occasional attacks, by the lower ranks, are a common occurrence in every cultivator city. If a prolonged period goes by without any lurking attacks, that would indeed be suspicious. Leader Ju responded. Fine. The slender cultivator conveyed mentally, remember, if ordinary members are exposed, let them die. Don't save companions, to avoid exposing more of our clan. Understood. We get it. The matter of the king is of utmost importance. Each leader responded. Low-level primordial life forms typically live in the 9 rivers, hunting cultivators, based on the positions of the 35 cities of the 9 rivers sacred realm, forming 35 enormous branches. The enchanting heartworm has a branch around the Yulon City area. The different branches are far apart and rarely interact. Yet this time, summoned by the king, the 35 branches of the enchanting heartworm clan in the 9 rivers sacred realm all responded. Each branch has over half of its core forces quietly converging in Yulon City. The slender cultivator looked at the elderly cultivator approaching from a distance. I have received word that your enchanting heartworm clan members have taken action, queried the elderly cultivator. The lower ranks acted on their own. The slender cultivator spoke mentally. The closer we get to the end, the less we can afford any carelessness. This time, the soul-devouring snake clan is expending over half its strength across the entire 9 rivers sacred realm. Additionally, the kings are all prepared. At any cost, we're coordinating internally and externally to completely overthrow Yulon City, the elderly cultivator transmitted telepathically. Such a massive price cannot allow for any slip-ups. This is merely a low-level attack, a trivial matter, nothing to mention. Occasional lurking attacks are the norm for Yulon City. The slender cultivator also used this rationale. Prolonged periods without attacks would only make the 3 hall masters of Yulon City suspicious. All right then. By the way, when will the king arrive? The elderly cultivator asked further. Be ready to act anytime, the slender cultivator said. The elderly cultivator stopped questioning. A red-robed cultivator stood watching as a streak of bloodlight attacked a cave mansion in the sky and swiftly departed. Though in close contact with one another, Luo Feng did not sense anything amiss with this red-robed cultivator. According to the intelligence, this cultivator was Luo Feng. The red-robed cultivator observed. Seems he should rank among the top 20 in Yulon City. However, in the entire Yulon City, the only one worthy of attention is the Wei Yang Palace Master. The red-robed cultivator looked off towards the city's core area. Yuan Xiong Palace Master's injuries have worsened, and he probably no longer dares to make a move. Master Gai Dao is wholly absorbed in artifact refining and essentially very selfish. Faced with a large-scale city siege, he would likely choose to flee at the first opportunity, the red-robed cultivator thought. Though Wei Yang Palace Master is also selfish and ruthless, he has invested too much into Yulon City to easily abandon it, treating it as his domain. My first target is the Wei Yang Palace Master. Eliminate him first. With Wei Yang Palace Master dead, the rest will be much easier. The red-robed cultivator strolled leisurely, remaining inconspicuous among the countless cultivators in Yulon City. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Luo Feng stood high in the air, absorbing his avatars into his body. I killed a total of 15 enchanting heartworm avatars, Luo Feng thought. These 15 enchanting heartworm avatars were all subworm avatars. They should belong to 2 different enchanting heartworms. Killing these avatars, the 2 enchanting heartworms should also be heavily weakened. Facing so many avatars, Luo Feng was also quite troubled. Just like Source World experts, it's very difficult to kill them completely. Now Luo Feng faced a similar problem. Buzz tilde tilde tilde, buzz tilde tilde tilde, buzz tilde tilde tilde. Suddenly, waves of fluctuations descended, enveloping the areas where Luo Feng previously hunted, and inspection teams from Yulon City arrived, starting the rapid capture of numerous cultivators. According to Yulon City regulations, when low-level primordial life forms lurk and attack, the 1,000 cave mansions surrounding the lurking residents must be carefully screened to prevent a low-level primordial life form from attaching. According to Yulon City regulations, during the lurking period, all known cultivators must also be carefully screened. All cultivators must cooperate with inspections. Violators will be executed without mercy. The cultivators in each area were taken aback, but upon hearing the patrol team's announcement, they all obediently cooperated. When low-level primordial life forms lurk, should you know them, please cooperate with the screening. The patrol team began capturing cultivators one by one. These cultivators were bewildered but dared not resist. Captures were made everywhere. Luo Feng watched all of this from afar. It's dismal. They say to cooperate with inspections, but those who don't hand over a large sum of primordial crystals won't get out in a short time. Having associated with lurking low-level primordial life forms, they have to be fleeced. Many cultivators were whispering quietly among themselves. This was also a common occurrence in Yulon City. Every time a lurking attack was discovered, a screening would ensue. The screened members, even if not controlled, would be thoroughly extorted. Suddenly, a patrol team approached Luo Feng, and the patrol team leader respectfully said, "Xiao Feng, thank Luo Feng Divine Emperor for discovering 15 enchanting heartworm avatars, and saving more cultivators." Luo Feng watched all this. Senior Luo Feng. From afar, a captured female cultivator, seeing Luo Feng, quickly called out, it was Nanfeng Yu. Luo Feng Divine Emperor, do you know her? The patrol team leader Xiao Feng asked. Luo Feng nodded, she is a member of my Dan Tower. I can assure you, she is not possessed. With Luo Feng Divine Emperor's assurance, it's no problem, release her. The patrol team leader ordered, and Nanfeng Yu was released. Thank you, Senior Luo Feng. Nanfeng Yu quickly expressed gratitude. Luo Feng nodded, his mood sour. Even though he was hunting low-level primordial life forms, enchanting heartworm, tens of thousands of cultivators were implicated, all going through screening, being extorted. For those ordinary cultivators, earning a bit of primordial crystals was not easy. Yuan Xiong Palace Master. Luo Feng immediately communicated with Yuan Xiong Palace Master. Ha ha ha, Luo Feng. How did you discover the enchanting heartworm clan? Even managing to identify 15 avatars. Yuan Xiong Palace Master responded, seemingly delighted. Luo Feng did not hide the truth and transmitted a message. One of my observation secret techniques has recently made a breakthrough. It allows me to observe the soul of a cultivator and determine whether their soul is being controlled. You can see it with a single glance. Yuan Xiong Palace Master was both astonished and delighted. The infiltration of low-level primordial life into cities was a challenge faced by all 35 cities in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. The vast majority of cities were unable to detect them, relying instead on subtle clues and the deduction of celestial mechanisms for confirmation. If a cultivator is present and there is no formation concealing them, I can see through over 90% of the cultivators at a glance. However, if there are powerful secret techniques or secret treasures masking them, I will need to examine them one-on-one at close range. If a cultivator is hiding inside a cave mansion and its formation is concealing them, then I won't be able to see clearly, Luo Feng replied. His biomimetic destruction eye was, after all, an imitative secret technique, and its observational capabilities still had many limitations. Even so, it's very impressive. Yuan Xiong Palace Master was overjoyed. Even in the dark sacred realm, being able to discern at a glance whether someone's soul is controlled is a rare ability found only among the strongest. In my prime, I did not possess such observational techniques. Across the entire Nine Rivers sacred realm, there may only be one or two others who can rival you in this ability, Yuan Xiong Palace Master said happily. With you in Yulon City, its security will be significantly enhanced. Having such a powerful figure overseeing a city drastically increased the difficulty of low-level primordial life launching assassination attempts. If they infiltrated, they would have to act quickly. Long-term lurking increased their risk of being exposed. Luo Feng, I hope you can assist us by thoroughly investigating the entire city, Yuan Xiong Palace Master said. Start with those walking outside. Then, I will issue a notice to the entire city, arranging for all cave mansion formations to be disabled in phases, so you can check them one by one. The cave mansions were rented, and Yulon City naturally had control over their formations. However, if cultivators had set up their own formations, Yulon City couldn't forcibly deactivate them, the cultivators themselves would need to disable them. The plan to phase out and disable all the cave mansion formations citywide was uniform. No one in the city would dare oppose it. I can confirm that there are definitely a good number of low-level primordial life lurking in the city, but we can only detect a minimal amount of evidence, Yuan Xiong Palace Master said with worry. A comprehensive screening will make things significantly safer. Without proper authority, my actions won't carry weight, Luo Feng transmitted. If I'm to be responsible for a city-wide screening, I'll need the position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander in Yulon City. Heaven Patrol Palace Commander. Yuan Xiong Palace Master hesitated. The Heaven Patrol Palace was the headquarters for all patrol and guard units in the city. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander consisted of one main commander and two deputy commanders. The sole main commander position was currently held by the Shadow Tower Lord. For instance, during the current investigation of tens of thousands of cultivators, ensuring they hadn't been possessed was an effort personally overseen by the Shadow Tower Lord. The Shadow Tower Lord was highly adept at soul-related techniques, and his one-on-one close examinations could identify anyone possessed. The Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is mainly responsible for screening for lurking low-level primordial life, Luo Feng transmitted. Since I am being asked to handle this role, and may be required to continue doing this in the future, I deserve the corresponding appointment. Yuan Xiong Palace Master understood as well. Asking Luo Feng to examine the entire city was clearly not a one-time request. It would require periodic screenings over time. All right. Yuan Xiong Palace Master transmitted. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is now yours. You can proceed to the Heaven Patrol Palace and coordinate the handover with the Shadow Tower Lord. Luo Feng nodded slightly. Each time lurking low-level primordial life were discovered, thousands or tens of thousands of affiliated cultivators would be captured for screening. Batch after batch would be taken in, and although most emerged safely, they would leave with their treasures thoroughly drained. This systematic exploitation was even more ruthless than the three major looting factions' theft and plundering. Wei Yang Palace Master is unfit to manage Yulon City. At present, Luo Feng lacked the upper hand in terms of power, as both sides were on the same level. However, once he elevated his mastery of the life and death Dao by another level, his superiority would dominate the entire city. By that point, certain matters would become much easier to handle. Swoosh! Luo Feng turned and flew toward the direction of the Heaven Patrol Palace at Yulon City's core. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Yuan Xiong Palace Master sat within his cave mansion, his aura somewhat weak. Wei Yang, Gari Dao. Yuan Xiong Palace Master directly contacted his two companions. Whoosh! Whoosh! Two phantom figures appeared next to him, Wei Yang Palace Master and Gari Dao Palace Master. Brother Yuan Xiong. Wei Yang Palace Master greeted him with a polite smile. At his peak, Yuan Xiong Palace Master had been a figure who mastered 2.5 primordial level paths. Even in the dark sacred realm, his influence was substantial. Many of Yuan Xiong Palace Master's friends were of the same level, a network that spoke for itself. As long as Yuan Xiong Palace Master was alive, Wei Yang Palace Master had to give him due respect. Brother Yuan Xiong, what prompted you to call the two of us so suddenly? Gari Dao Palace Master asked as well. I've decided to hand over the position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander to Luo Feng, Yuan Xiong Palace Master said directly. Oh? Gari Dao Palace Master raised an eyebrow and smiled faintly. I've heard about a strong cultivator named Luo Feng emerging in Yulon City of late. Absolutely not. But Wei Yang Palace Master immediately objected. The position of Heaven Patrol Palace Commander is of great importance as it concerns the safety of the entire city. Moreover, screening cultivators for possession is an extremely challenging task. Shadow Tower Lord has been doing an excellent job. But Luo Feng can do even better, Yuan Xiong Palace Master replied. Today alone, he captured 15 avatars of enchanting heartworms, because he has a secret technique that allows him to determine from a distance with one glance whether a cultivator is possessed. How is that even possible? Both Wei Yang Palace Master and Gari Dao Palace Master were visibly shocked. Such a powerful observational secret technique. With such a technique, he should be able to screen the entire city in less than a day, Wei Yang Palace Master frowned. Why the need to assign him the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position? Yuan Xiong Palace Master chuckled. But he said it himself, if he is to painstakingly perform the task, he has but one request, the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position. He's far too greedy. Wei Yang Palace Master was enraged. The discovery of lurkers in Yulon City was a regular occurrence, and each screening yielded terrifyingly large profits. The Shadow Tower Lord was technically the one in charge, but the majority of the income ultimately flowed into Wei Yang Palace Master's hands. Now that Luo Feng was claiming this position, Wei Yang Palace Master would lose a prime source of continual revenue. Just because he claims expertise in observation doesn't make it so, Wei Yang Palace Master retorted. Finding 15 enchanting heartworm avatars might have been due to some unusual circumstance. Everything must be prioritized for Yulon City's safety, Yuan Xiong Palace Master said solemnly. If his observational and screening abilities are indeed superior, let him take on the commander position for now. If he proves to be ineffectual, we can then revoke his appointment. I have no objections, Gari Dao Palace Master said. Then it's settled, Yuan Xiong Palace Master stated. Wei Yang Palace Master felt stifled. Although Yuan Xiong Palace Master was not one to fight over power or profit, when he decided on something, Wei Yang Palace Master could do little to oppose it. After all, Yuan Xiong Palace Master was the city builder and held the highest authority. Sitting in his quiet room, Wei Yang Palace Master's expression turned grim. He had long foreseen that Luo Feng might pose a certain degree of threat. He had even contemplated that one day a fourth Palace Master, Luo Feng Palace Master, might emerge. But the threat had arrived far sooner than he expected. How long has he been in Yulon City? And has already taken the Heaven Patrol Palace Commander position from us. Wei Yang Palace Master was visibly displeased. The majority of elders held merely honorary positions, responsible for their respective defensive systems and receiving only a fixed income, nothing more. The Heaven Patrol Palace Commander role, however, was a true powerhouse position brimming with tremendous profit. In the past, Yuan Xiong Palace Master hadn't contended for it, leaving it to Wei Yang Palace Master's faction. Shadow Tower Lord. Wei Yang Palace Master immediately transmitted a message. Palace Master. A virtual image of a middle-aged figure appeared nearby. Your position as Heaven Patrol Palace Commander has been taken, Wei Yang Palace Master stated. What? Shadow Tower Lord was visibly taken aback. This position was far too lucrative. Those sent into the Heaven Patrol Palace never left without all their treasures being drained before they were allowed to walk free. It was Yuan Xiong Palace Master's decision, and I couldn't stop it. Wei Yang Palace Master shook his head. Who is the new commander? Shadow Tower Lord pressed for an answer. That Luo Feng, Wei Yang Palace Master replied. Him? Shadow Tower Lord frowned. I already suspected Luo Feng wasn't someone content to remain ordinary when he bested the insect nest. But I didn't anticipate him seizing my commander position on his first major move. Palace Master, are we just going to let him take it? I couldn't persuade Yuan Xiong Palace Master otherwise, Wei Yang Palace Master admitted. Invite Luo Feng. Bring him to my cave mansion. I will speak with him myself. Should he voluntarily relinquish the commander role, even Yuan Xiong Palace Master would have no objections. Understood. Shadow Tower Lord nodded. Losing such a continuous and enormous stream of revenue was something neither Wei Yang Palace Master nor Shadow Tower Lord was willing to tolerate. The core region of Yulon City, the Heaven Patrol Palace. This was the military headquarters for the many patrol and guard teams, and also the location where prisoners were detained. Whoosh! 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 Patrol teams escorted large groups of cultivators to the Heaven Patrol Palace. These were individuals suspected of having connections with lurking primordial beings. The cultivators were expressions of helplessness, unable to take action against their predicament. They could only curse their bad luck. Once you enter the Heaven Patrol Palace, you'll probably be drained clean, the cultivators thought with despair, one by one being escorted in and locked away separately. Whoosh! Luo Feng now arrived near the Heaven Patrol Palace as well. Brother Luo Feng. A middle-aged man, leading a group of subordinates, stepped forward to greet him. This middle-aged man was one of the Shadow Tower Lord's most common avatars. Shadow Tower. Luo Feng looked at him, his heart filled with disdain toward this man. In his eyes, such individuals were the scum of the cultivator world. If it were up to him, he would have executed them all. I've received orders to transfer the commander position to Brother Luo Feng, Shadow Tower Lord said with a smile, noticing Luo Feng's unfriendly demeanor, but choosing not to take issue with it. The commander position of the Heaven Patrol Palace carries great responsibility. I hope Brother Luo Feng will dedicate yourself to it. I understand, Luo Feng replied. There's one more important matter, Shadow Tower Lord said with a sly grin. Wei Yang Palace Master has instructed me to ensure Brother Luo Feng visits his cave mansion. Shall we head there now? Wei Yang Palace Master wants to see me. Luo Feng mused internally. The Heaven Patrol Palace commander position was clearly a coveted, chunk of meat, for Wei Yang Palace Master's faction. Now that Luo Feng seized it, Wei Yang Palace Master was likely not pleased. Though they viewed it as a treasure trove, Luo Feng had no intention of oppressing tens of thousands of cultivators for riches. I've just taken office today, and there's pressing work, the screening of tens of thousands of cultivators, Luo Feng said. Once I've completed my duties, I'll naturally visit Wei Yang Palace Master. Luo Feng. Shadow Tower Lord's figure shifted slightly, blocking Luo Feng's path. You intend to make Wei Yang Palace Master wait? Step aside. Luo Feng's gaze turned cold. This is the Heaven Patrol Palace. Are you planning to challenge its commander here? The nearby patrol teams were bewildered, but instinctively sided with their new commander. Fine, very well. Shadow Tower Lord smirked. I'll be sure to relay every word you've said to Wei Yang Palace Master. With that, his figure flickered and vanished. Luo Feng sneered slightly, and continued flying toward the main entrance of the Heaven Patrol Palace. The guards at the main gate had been waiting in anticipation. When Luo Feng approached, they saluted with utmost respect, Commander. This video will end here.